Hi, everybody. It's time for our week ahead spread for Monday, March 30th through Sunday, April 5th. So, here are our three cards that we got for the week. We've got for what do we need to think about this week? We got the Four of Wands. For what do we need to do this week? We got Temperance. And for what is the challenge we face this week? We got the Ace of Pentacles. So, let's pull first card up, the Four of Wands. Now, what do we need to think about? The Four of Wands reminds us to think about our communities, our families, and our friends. It's important to remember what is most important to us. With all that is happening in the world today, this is so very relevant for our peace of mind. Now, next up, we have Temperance, and that is for what do we need to do this week. So, what we have to do, it's time for us to find our balance, to do all things in moderation so we can conserve our energy for the upcoming battles ahead. We have to be prepared to protect what is important to us from our own government. And that has to be one of the most painful things I have ever had to say. Times are tough, times are dangerous, and we have to be prepared for the battles that come ahead. Now, then, that leads us to our last card of the week. That is the Ace of Pentacles. For what is the challenge that we face this week? For that, we're told that the Ace of Pentacles shows the potential for abundance in all its forms. This ace also speaks of security and stability. These are the very things that are on shaky ground right now, and most of us will find a serious challenge with trying to keep our lives on solid ground. So, our challenge is keeping that security and stability in our lives as we watch the world implode around us. Now, that may sound a little far fetched, but if you actually think about what it is that we're dealing with right now, it all makes sense. We're dealing with mass deceit, lies, cheating, stealing. We're dealing with a government that wants to take away all of our rights and basically turn us into slaves. So we've got a big battle ahead, probably many of them, and we're only going to get through them one day at a time. We only have the strength to join the battle and to do what is right when we make sure we ground ourselves, we get our rest, we keep in mind our families, our communities, our friends, our coworkers, those of those people who are around us all the time, and even for some of those that aren't. But we have to keep them foremost in our mind so that we don't let what's important slip through our fingers. Caring for one another is probably the most important aspect that we as human beings can do for one another, can give to one another. We are called to care for one another, to love one another, to take care of one another. I think I said care already. Okay. Sometimes I forget. What's important, though, is to know that there are still battles ahead and we have to prepare for that. And by doing that, we have to find moderation in our life. We have to ground ourselves. We have to surround ourselves with what is important. And it's important to prioritize what that importance may be. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the only thing important to them is money or power or both. But, but for the vast majority of us, what is most important is our lives, our families, our friends, our co-workers, people within our community. Because whether if we want to admit it or not, they depend upon us to hold that light up just a little bit longer and a little bit brighter so that they can find their way through the darkness. Y'all have a great week this week. I know it looks a little dark, and we expect that. We know it's coming. That's one of the many battles that we're looking at having to fight. We will get through it unscathed and stronger when we know it's coming. We prepare for it, we ground ourselves, and we protect what is important. Y'all have a great week. We'll talk again tomorrow for our affirmation. So, have a good evening. We'll talk again later. Bye for now.